What's going on, guys? It is a nice, beautiful, crisp 8 degrees out today, and I'm heading to the post office to pick up a very cool package that I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, it's not the biggest part in the world, but it's definitely something cool that I'm looking forward to showing you guys for the 3000. It is so cold, and I think tonight it's supposed to be -1. And then next week we're finally going to get a break. It's going to be above freezing in the 40s. Get some rain to wash all of this salt away, because everything is white. It's either snow or salt right now. And it's hard because the road's still kind of wet from the snowstorm we had. And there's a lot of new potholes. And I'm not too crazy about that. It's so annoying. But let's get to the post office and pick up that package. We're known for doing CD09 stuff, Cressida body kits, GS300 parts, things along those sorts. So, crack the box open here, and we have some party confetti. Happy New Year, right? A little party confetti there. And what we've got, some hardware. And then a SerialNine, one of their long shift knobs in black. This thing is awesome. I believe it's billet aluminum, I think. This thing is sweet. Super stoked about this. Now it's very top heavy, has some weight to it, but check this out. So if I put this down, open up the hardware bag. So they give you these two like cylinder looking things, and judging by the looks of it, if I'm doing this correctly, you can add more weight to the shift knob by dropping the cylinders in the knob before you then put the threaded insert that fits your car into it as well, which is pretty awesome. And then you would just tighten that down, looks like with a screwdriver. And these add a good amount of weight to the shift knob. This thing's gonna definitely improve the shifting on the car, because like I said, on the car I have the Mishimoto shift knob that has a little bit of weight to it, the white one in there, but I think adding this to the shifter will definitely be a significant improvement. So why not? We'll throw this thing on. I'll lay out all the threaded inserts here so I can figure out which one's the proper one to fit the car. And I'm going to unscrew the Mishimoto knob. And of course it looks like the torque solution extender is going to come with it. So I'll pull the whole thing off and then separate the two. So the Mishimoto knob is off. That one has an insert as well. So I'll put that to the side. And then I'm going to take, I think this one might be the correct insert. See if that threads on. And it doesn't really. Not that one. Let's try this guy. There you go. We have a winner. So we're tightening it with the screwdriver. Inserts in, both the weights are in. Good weight to the shift knob compared to the Mishi. I think it's a little heavier than the Mishi, but it's also a heck of a lot taller than the Mishi knob. And I really like this car with the extender and a regular knob, so having the taller shift knob, I think I'm gonna really like how this thing feels. So then we're gonna put it down on the torque solution extender. Just start screwing it in. And there it is, right there. We have SerialNine facing out. Sweet. Look at that. That is so long, but I love it. It's right next to the steering wheel. So the grab there, and then the grab there to the e-brake. Everything's just right there. I love it. I'm going to be getting a wheel wood soon for this, finally. And that'll be going on when the e-brake gets moved over down to my side. I'm going to have a handle come up, kind of like in this general vicinity that I can grab next to the steering wheel. but this thing is awesome. Love this thing. Shout out to the guys at SerialNine. Go check them out. I'll put a link to their website down below. Super high quality product. Definitely happy with this. It gives you so much leverage, and just the throw with that weighted knob, it's like it does it on its own automatically. So that is awesome. So within the last month, we've gone from the regular light Tomei, and this thing feels like nothing after holding the Mishi knob and the new SerialNine shift knob. We've gone from the Tomei to the Mishimoto weighted Delrin knob. I like this, I definitely do. And then now the SerialNine knob. Now I still have all the inserts from these, and I'm curious to see if I can make this work on my Hurst shifter, because I think this is definitely heavier than the Hurst shift knob in the V. Alright, so we're over here in the V. We're going to unscrew the Hurst knob and see if we can get something, because this is super light compared to the little Hurst ball compared to the Mishi. See if something is close to being able to thread on there, and we can kind of just crank it on there and see if it'll work. Oh, do we have a winner? Oh wow, this actually threads right on. That's really weird. Okay, so kind of bottomed out inside there. So let's get some pliers. Gently continue to screw it down. We're gonna screw this on. Hopefully, I didn't booger the threads up enough, and I mean they're just plastic, so it should screw back on no problem. There it is, Mishimoto knob on the Hurst shifter. It feels totally different. Holy crap, this is insane. Wow, that is wild. I'll give you guys the exact weight of the Mishi knob. I don't know what the Hurst knob is, but the Hurst is super light. It's very similar to the Tomei knob that was in the 3000. It also sits a little higher, which I like. I feel like the Hurst being down here sat just a little too low for my liking in this car. Oh my god, that's amazing. Why have I not done this? I've had this Hurst knob for 2 years now. Why have I not done this before? That's crazy. Alright, cool. Alright. I'm sure you guys don't want to listen to me talking about how crazy it is that my shift knob feels good. So, let's go back inside. It's cold. Try and warm this place up a little bit. What I'm going to do today is try and prep the bay to touch up the paint before the auto show. I'm just basically going to use these scuff pads and just scuff all the visible stuff up today. And we're going to paint it later this week when the temperatures are in the 40s and 50s. All right, let's get to work. What are you eating?
Carrot.
Why are you carrying a bag of carrots in your pocket?
They were in my pocket.
Where were they?
I carried them out like this.
Oh my god.
Diet life.
So ultimately, what I'm going to do is scuff using these little scuffing pads. These are like the finer of the scuffing pads. Basically, what I'm going to do is just on the surfaces that are visible, I'm just going to lightly do that. Just lightly scuff them up. Just a tiny bit. Nothing too much, just to make the surface a little roughed up. And then basically next week, once the temperature goes up, I'm just going to hit it with some of this paint just around the strut tower, the firewall, that strut tower area, and around the front here, basically all the areas that you can see. The reason I'm just doing this quickly like this is because I will most likely be pulling the motor out and repainting the engine bay later in the winter or springtime. So 1 can of spray paint will do the trick for the auto show if I even open my hood for the show. Alright, here's where I'm at after a pass. I took the power steering reservoir, just tied it up to the intercooler pipe just so we can free up this whole area. So that'll all get covered around there with some plastic. And then basically just went over this. You can see it's a little more dull than over here, but there's like some chips and stuff, and just being able to feather them out when I go to respray it, it'll look a lot better and help hide some of these chips and nicks and things like that after this past year of driving the car and working on it. So before I start taping this all off, I'm going to pop the valve cover off first because that's something that I can prep and do on the bench. So I'm going to pull this off real quick, and we'll see what the top end is looking like. I mean, I changed the oil way too much on this car. It was a little sludgy when I got it from the JDM front clip, but we'll see. I haven't really had it off much to look at it. We'll see how clean it is now after a couple, like 10 oil changes. PCV hose. It's a little on the older side, but it's so cold in here. It's 48 degrees, 46, whatever, 40s. I'm gonna heat it up a little bit so I don't risk cracking it. That way I can just pop it off real easily. There we go. Nice. Voila. Okay, so like I was saying, it's not the cleanest. I mean, there's a little bit of some sludge and stuff in there from whoever owned this motor in Japan. Probably didn't change the oil as much as they should have, but I can assure you that the motor is very well taken care of now. Now I'm just going to cover this with some plastic, and we'll move on and start covering everything else to prep it for paint at the end of the week. So it's like 5 hours later from when I pulled the valve cover off. It's nighttime, and I'm not too happy about something that I did today. So when it's very cold out, like right now, my hood struts, being 25 years old, they don't work very well. So I had a little bar propping my hood up, and it was doing fine the whole time. Doing fine. So here it is, and there it goes. So I normally use like a 2x4 or something to prop it up. So it's propped up during the whole process that we were filming that video in. Scuff the whole engine bay, take the valve cover off, we're looking good. And then it just decides to let go and fall. So when it fell, I already peeled it, but when it fell, it hit right here, right here, right here, tore the vinyl, because it being as cold as it is, the vinyl is pretty delicate. It will tear easily as opposed to being warmer out. And then it got it right here. I peeled it a little bit bigger, but it wasn't as big. So not only do I have to redo the top half of the bumper, but I have to redo the bottom half. What I think I'm going to try and do, and get away with doing, is cutting it at the body line and then just doing like a 1-inch piece right here all the way across. But it definitely sucks. Everything was going so smooth with the wrap. Now I got to redo that. So everything went smooth today as far as the shift knobs and all that stuff goes, but we ran into some vinyl issues, so I really need that warm weather. I wasn't going to end the video just yet because I was going to mask off the whole engine bay and all that, But that's it for today, guys. I just got too frustrated after I messed up that front bumper that I called it quits. And I'll see you guys in a couple days with another video, because once it starts getting warm enough, we'll be out here working. And we'll be getting this stuff done and wrapping it up. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel, you know, all the usual stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.